Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly forecast for Monday, May 23rd through Sunday, May 29th. And before we get started, as always, I would like to thank my subscribers for their continued support. And if you are new to my channel and you like this video, check out some of my other videos too. But please like and share and subscribe to my channel. And also in the description box below, there's a link there to my website if you would like to have your personal chart done or any other chart information. And there's also another link to something called Ask Me a Question, which is for people who are interested in only maybe one or two things about their chart. Okay, so read below. Anyway, we have quite a few aspects this week, okay? So like on Monday, May 23rd, the Sun in Gemini sextiles Jupiter in Aries, okay? And on the very same day, Mercury, still being retrograde, falls back into Taurus. Okay, so that put on an alert there for you Taurians, okay? Anyway, on Tuesday, May 24th, Mars moves into Aries, okay? And on this day, Mercury in Taurus, now in Taurus, okay, sextiles Mars in Pisces, see? So they're leaving. Here's what happens is Mercury, when it falls back into Taurus, falls back into the 29th degree because it's starting at the very end of the sign, okay? It's not starting at 0 degrees because it just left Gemini, right? It retrograded back in Gemini all the way to 0 degrees and then back into the sign previous to them, which is Taurus. So it comes back at 29 degrees. And at the very same time, that very day, okay, Mars is in like 29 degrees of Pisces. So it moves into, before it moves into Aries, it creates this sextile, okay? So anyone trying to, that confuses, I hope I didn't confuse you with that explanation, but that's how that happened. There was one more aspect to be made from Mars in, or to Mars in Pisces at 29 degrees, and Mercury falling back into Taurus at 29 degrees, okay? So they both go their separate ways now, and Mars does move into Aries on this day after that aspect, okay? On the very same day, Venus in Aries sextiles Saturn in Aquarius. Okay, and on Wednesday, May 25th, Mercury in Taurus trines Pluto in Capricorn. On Friday, May 27th, Venus in Aries squares Pluto in Capricorn. And on Saturday, the 28th, Venus moves into Taurus. On Sunday, May 29th, Mars in Aries conjuncts Jupiter in Aries. So this is like a really, really lucky day for everyone. So we'll see where the luck is happening in your chart. Okay, so whatever sign comes up after this, whatever. This is my intro, okay, to all the other videos. Okay, so for Taurus. Okay, on Monday, May 23rd, the Sun in Gemini in your second house sextiles Jupiter, transiting in your 12th house of Aries. So this is actually, your second house is your house of earned money, earned income, how you earn your money. So, of course, having the Sun here and even Mercury going retrograde and whatever, looks like you could be finding out, you have Jupiter in your 12th house of behind the scenes matters or actions taken by you or someone else. But it is the house of secrets, but many, many other things. But I think that maybe you have learned, since planets have been in Aries, even back in end of March into April, that you may have some money coming to you, and having this Mercury in your second house retrograde back and forth, okay, because Mercury is retrograding back into your first house, okay, also on this very day, okay, so you're trying to find out where's the money, where did it go, what is going on, okay. You may even find that maybe you were not paid the correct rate that you were supposed to have. Just something about your income, something that you should have had, more than likely money. It could be, you know, goods of some kind. Your second house is also possessions, right? So it could be something in regards to that, but I'm going to have to say it's money. That you have like good news, behind the scenes good news that things are like going in your favor or something. That money that you were supposed to have should be coming back to you. Okay, on Tuesday, May 24th, Mercury in Taurus in your first house, sextiles Mars in Pisces in your 11th house. So Mars, after this aspect is made, a little after, Mars will move from Pisces into Aries into your 12th house. You're going to have Mars in your 12th house. Okay, so I'm not sure if I covered this in your monthly or not. I will maybe go into more detail in June. But usually, you know, when Mars is in your 12th house, but by itself, sometimes it means that someone is acting in secret behind your back. Usually it's a friend, so-called friend, right? Somebody that you know. It's not unknown to you. In fact, you may already know that this person is envious or jealous of you, and that's what they're doing. They undermine you in some way. However, having Jupiter here in your 12th house, it means that you have help behind the scenes. There's someone helping you, and you may not even know it. There could be someone, you know, preventing things from even happening to you. You know, they are even just sticking up for you, or, you know, dissuading anyone to believe anything this so-called other friend, you know, a frenemy, to even bother listening to them. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. But the sextile from Mercury in your first house to your 11th house of friends, and any kind of group or organization that you belong to, but it is your group of friends, more or less, okay? I'd have to say that if you had some kind of conversation with one of them, like last month or whatever, or even around your birthday, could be, you know, that that topic is like being revisited right now, and maybe you could have a few things to say to someone to set them straight. This could either be in your group of friends or an organization that you belong to, or this 11th house is also social media, socializing online, you know. So you may come back with some kind of, I don't know, clever whatever, to something someone said to you or about you in a social setting or on social media. Okay, so you put them in their place, more or less. Also on this day, Venus in Aries in your 12th house, sextile Saturn, transiting in your 10th house of Aquarius. So, you know, you're having help behind the scenes. You know, having Saturn in your 10th house means you are making progress in your career. You are making steady and slow, probably slow. You know, when Jupiter was here, it should have elevated you right up, you know, in some way or other. You got a promotion in some way, okay? However, you've been burdened with an awful lot of work, okay? And a little credit, not even a pat on the back. Something like that, okay? But now that you have Jupiter and Mars too, but having Jupiter in your 12th house, it keeps creating a sextile to your 10th house of your career. So you're always going to have somebody right now in your corner helping you in some way in regards to your career. Okay, like I said, you may not even know it, but there could be somebody that really likes you and is looking out for you. Okay, if it's not your career, 10th house is also social status. So it could be someone also there in some kind of social group that really likes you. Okay. On Wednesday, May 25th, Mercury in Taurus in your first house trines Pluto, transiting in your ninth house of Capricorn. So Mercury being retrograde in your first house is trining Pluto, which is also retrograde in your ninth house of Capricorn. I would have to say that possibly a trip that you wanted to take, and this ninth house is long distance, doesn't necessarily have to be, but you may get the chance to actually take that trip, or if you had plans that fell through, for a certain reason, okay, there has possibly been a solution to that now, so reservations or plans of any kind of travel are being like redone in such a way that now you can take that trip. This is also possibly a communication of some kind that it seems to me that you are making in regards to something that was stalled. Okay, so it could be a trip, could be a legal matter, could be anything, but this is a long distance communication and travel house, ninth house, okay? It's also legal matters and many other things, but I just think that something that already took place and maybe didn't go the way you wanted it to, you're getting a second chance at it, okay? On Friday, May 27th, Venus in Aries in your 12th house squares Pluto in your 9th house of Capricorn. And this is nothing to like worry about at all, okay? Any aspect from Venus or Jupiter is always good no matter what the aspect. So this is just a square, and it's happening behind the scenes, and you know, you could just be having a, I don't know, a little bit of a laugh at someone else's expense that you either know or through social, I'd have to say social media, you know, at their beliefs, their philosophy, their opinions, something about them. I mean, you're not laughing out loud. You're not really letting anyone know about this. You could be discussing them behind their back, but you're discussing them with a friend. So it's not like, you know, you're blabbing it all over the place. But it's not like a very big deal. It's whatever kind of difference that you may have with someone. And it's usually just like a cultural thing. On Sunday, May 29th, Mars in Aries conjuncts Jupiter in Aries. So this is like a really big deal. This is the transit of this aspect is good luck, good fortune. Okay, and it is being in the right place at the right time, but it's because you planned on it. This isn't just good luck falling into your lap. This is knowing when to make that move, you know. And this is happening behind the scenes for you. So this is something possibly that you have been planning, that you're not really telling anyone about, and this would be the time to make your move. You're making it, like I said, behind the scenes. It more than likely is in secret, but it doesn't always have to be. But it's something that will, you know, bring you good fortune. You have to remember that when Jupiter leaves Aries, it goes into the next zodiac sign, which is yours. So you will have Jupiter in your first house in Taurus next year. Okay, so whatever it is you're doing now, you could be planning for that. You're making possibly some kind of, you know, investment with planets like being in your first house and your second house. You're getting possibly an opportunity that, a secret opportunity. You're being let in on some kind of deal of some kind that isn't being offered to everyone. You're being treated a little bit more special than other people in that sense. You know, that not everyone is getting it on the ground floor of whatever this is. Okay? So maybe that is why you have to keep it secret, because it's not for everyone. You know, it's just only a select few. Okay, so for Scorpio, excuse me, on Monday, May 23rd, the Sun in Gemini in your 8th house, sextiles Jupiter transiting in Aries in your 6th house. So this is very nice transit from your 8th house of other people's resources and money and passive money, okay, coming to you through means other than earning it, but having Jupiter in your 6th house of work, the workplace, the kind of work that you do, means that, you know, usually that you have someone new coming into the workplace or into your life that helps you do your job in some way or other, that makes it a little bit easier. But to me it looks like you may have someone that you work with that is going to give you something. It could be something that they have, could be something like furniture or something like that, whatever. They have something that maybe you could use, or maybe that you actually even need for whatever reason. Maybe they're moving or doing something or other, but they would like to give it to you. Okay. On Tuesday, May 24th, Mercury in Taurus in your 7th house, sextiles Mars in Pisces in your 5th house. Okay, so Mercury is now retrograded back into Taurus, into your 7th house, and this aspect it's making to Mars happens, and then Mars on the same day moves right into Aries into your 6th house. So this is like the last aspect that's being made to Mars in Pisces for now, until the next time Mars is in Pisces, right? So anyways, it's like this one last thing, like your 7th house is your partnerships, your romantic partnerships, business, close friends, something or other. With Mercury being here, it means that a previous conversation or a previous arrangement, okay, because this is also the house of arrangements and agreements. It's being reviewed again, you know, it's up for review. You are really standing your ground, you know. The sextile to Mars in your 5th house of romance, okay, so I have to say romance or a creative collaboration possibly that you have with someone. You are changing the arrangement or making it more, you know, where you thought it was supposed to be. Maybe you had, a lot of times what happens is when Mercury was direct here, like last month or whenever Mercury was in Taurus, just recently, okay, something was, you know, talked about, or, you know, you either agreed on it, a handshake deal, could have been even a written contract or something, and as time went on, even just a few weeks, nothing was done, or that it wasn't adhered to, the arrangement wasn't played out the way you thought it would be. So now you're speaking up and saying, what the hell's going on here? Okay, put it back the way it was, either do it, or, you know, as they say, sometimes shit or get off the pot, right? So also on this day, Venus in Aries in your 6th house, sextiles Saturn, transiting in your 4th house of Aquarius. Okay, so very nice transit from your house of, let's say, the workplace, but it's also your house of service, okay, to your 4th house of your home and your family life, and where you actually physically live and who you live with, if you have a roommate or family or no one at all. Anyways, 4th house is your foundation. It's your childhood, upbringing, things like that. And I would have to say that you more than likely have been trying to bring work home or work from home, not wanting to go back into the workplace if you do still work. If you don't work at all or you're retired, there's still something that you do. You have some kind of money coming in somewhere or other to live off of. And, you know, this is the 6th house is also the house of service. So you may have been helping someone. It could have been a family member. A lot of times when Saturn's here, you end up taking care of, let's say, like your parents, an ill parent, or they move in with you, you know, because they need looked after. You know, it could be something like that. But this is help in some way. okay, especially with Jupiter here. You are having help with, maybe even you yourself need help. Maybe you are homebound, you know, you're not well yourself, or you just need help in getting around. And especially now that Jupiter is there in your 6th house, it looks like any kind of help that you need, it looks like you're going to get. If you were having problems with stuff like that, you shouldn't. Try again. Try again now that this planet has moved here. Okay, so on Wednesday, May 25th, okay, Mercury in Taurus in your 7th house again, right? Trines Pluto in Capricorn in your 3rd house. Okay, both of these planets are in retrograde motion. So I would have to say that, you know, 3rd house where you have Pluto transiting, and Capricorn is communication and travel house, but it is like local travel. It is regular postal mail and email, voicemail, text message, any kind of communication, verbal. 3rd house is the house of your everyday life and the people you would come in contact with throughout the normal course of your day. So this trine, I would have to say, is some kind of communication in regards to, again, partnership or close relationship, and it's being reviewed. You know, you're having the chance to change it in some way or other. 7th house is lawyers and contracts. 3rd house is the written word and contracts. Okay. Something like that, you know, it doesn't even have to be in writing. Some kind of an arrangement that you possibly made with someone. And it could be, you know, again, somebody in your everyday life. Okay, but 3rd house is local, like neighbors, stuff like that. Or, like I said, the people you would encounter throughout the normal course of your day. So you're getting the ability to change that in some way or other. On Friday, May 27th, Venus in Aries in your 6th house squares Pluto transiting in your 3rd house of Capricorn. Not a big deal. It's a square from Venus. Doesn't really mean too much, just that maybe possibly whatever it is that you're doing at this time as far as work goes. A lot of times when Venus is in the 6th house, you're having like nice or closer relationships or pleasant relationships with your co-workers. But as far as your health goes, it makes you eat a little bit more, especially sweets, stuff like that. You may be visiting places within your neighborhood, okay, especially if there's like a fair or like this weekend possibly like a barbecue or something like that, or attending some kind of function possibly that may be going on for, we have Memorial Day weekend here in America, and you would just maybe eat a little bit too much. On Sunday, May 29th, Mars in Aries conjuncts Jupiter in Aries in your 6th house. Okay, so this is the aspect that brings good fortune. Okay, it's in effect for a few days before and after this actual day. Usually this is planned action. Okay, this is being in the right place at the right time, but it's something that you've planned on doing. It's not like you just out of the blue. You know, you could be like the 100th, you know, customer in line at the grocery store, and you know you win something. Could be something like that, but it just looks to me like this is in regards to some kind of work that you do. You know, you if you're self-employed, something that you've created or have been working on for a long time, you know, is being successful right now. You know, this is like an increase in clientele or your demands for your work, whatever kind of service possibly that you provide. You know, just possibly an awful lot of work coming your way, like you're in like demand or something or other. But I always tell people, if you're not able to take advantage of this transit at this time. A lot of times, you know, you can't get out there and or meet people or do whatever it is you feel you need to do in order to take advantage of this. As long as you start something while this transit is going on, it's like blessed by this aspect. Okay, so meaning that it will succeed, or it should succeed somewhere down the line. You know, as long as you get started on it, at least, you know, if you have to make a phone call, make that phone call. That's a start. You know, contacting someone, you know, in regards to whatever it is that you would like to do. Doesn't necessarily have to occur within your 6th house, just throughout your life. But the 6th house is where it shows most promise. Hi, Capricorn. Anyway, for you on Monday, May 23rd, the Sun in Gemini in your 6th house, 6th house Jupiter transiting in your 4th house of Aries. So, the 6th house is the kind of work that you do, and the workplace. It's your work schedule. Your 4th house, where you have Aries, is your home life, your family life, where you actually physically live. Maybe these two are tied together right now. You could be bringing work home, or you are already working from home. Maybe you're going back into the office, you know, physically, or a building, or wherever it is that you may work. Even if you're retired, there's still something that you are doing at home, especially now that you have Jupiter there. You're like creating space, possibly, making room in your home or wherever it is that you live for some area for yourself, to create something, possibly. But to me it looks like it's whatever it is that you're doing, it's to bring in another source of income, or to be self-employed. Or again, if you don't work at all, or if you're retired or something like that, you're still doing something that is bringing in extra income, or is replacing an income that is less than what it was. Okay. On Tuesday, May 24th, Mercury in Taurus in your 5th house sextiles Mars in Pisces in your 3rd house. And Mercury is retrograde. It fell back into Taurus. It was retrograde in Gemini in your 6th house, and now it's fallen back into your 5th house of romance and fun, okay? And speculation, entertainment of any kind, creativity. Okay, the sextile to Mars in your 3rd house, you know, a little after this aspect occurs, Mars moves into Aries, into your 4th house on the very same day. Okay, so you could be doing something, you know, your 3rd house is your neighborhood, your neighbors, your the places where you would normally go in your neighborhood every day, and the people you would run into. It's also big communication and travel house. So having Mars here, maybe you did an awful lot of running around, even in your neighborhood. You may not have traveled. If you did, it was like a road trip. It was local, more or less. It was, you know, a few hours drive away or something like that. And this could be one of those times. Mercury retrograde in your 5th house possibly brings back the opportunity to do something fun that you were supposed to do, period. Maybe you originally had plans to do something, and then you weren't able to do it for whatever reason, and now that opportunity is coming around again to do something like that. And this could be, like I said, the road trip, whatever. It could, whatever it is, it's something fun, okay? And it could be taking place within your own area, within your own neighborhood, possibly, because you have so many planets in your 4th house of your family and stuff. Could be like an impromptu reunion, or maybe you were supposed to all have like some kind of gathering, either at your place or someone else's, relative or something like that, and it fell through, but now it looks like it's on again. Okay. On the very same day, Venus in Aries in your 4th house sextiles Saturn in your 2nd house of Aquarius. So, you know, you are beautifying your home in some way or other, having Venus here most of the month. Okay, it's getting ready to move, but having Venus in your 4th house does make you kind of want to do stuff like that. Now that Jupiter is also there, it makes you really want to, you're either investing in your home in some way, improving it in some way that will bring in, up its value in some way. You're improving your wherever it is that you live. You could also have your eye on a purchase of some kind for your home that makes it more secure or stable. Could be a security system, something like that. But it could be, you know, I don't know, you could even be putting solar panels or something on the roof of your house. Let's see here. On Wednesday, May 25th, Mercury in Taurus in your 5th house trines Pluto in Capricorn in your 1st house. And both of these planets are retrograde right now. So I would have to say we're back to Mercury in your 5th house of entertainment and fun. Okay, it could even be a conversation maybe that you had with someone in regards to romance, or it could be a creative project, or it could even be regarding a child. Okay, something or other, but a subject that you have already had a previous conversation on in this area, in this 5th house area, okay, like about a month or so ago, fairly recently, is coming back again for review, okay. In fact, you could add a little bit to whatever it was you wanted to say, or you could change your mind on something or other that you agreed to, you know. Maybe you feel that, you know, you're not happy with whatever you said you would do, or everyone would do, or however the conversation ended. But with these two planets being retrograde, I believe that you're able to redo something, redo a conversation, redo a creative project or something. Maybe you found a missing piece, why it wasn't working, something or other. If I were you, though, I always say this. When Mercury is retrograde in the 5th house, if you gamble at all with lottery numbers, if you play the lottery, if you have your favorite number that you play every day, if your number has hit because, you know, that whatever, and you stop playing it because it hit. A lot of people do that, and it's not a good idea to do that. When Mercury is retrograde in your 5th house of gambling, lottery numbers usually repeat themselves from like the 3 weeks previous, sometimes even 4 weeks before. So if your number hit like at the beginning of May or something like that and you dropped it, I would start playing it again. But, you know, it's probably already come back again in May, but I would still again start playing it. On, let's see here, Friday, May 27th, Venus in Aries in your 4th house squares Pluto transiting in your 1st house of Capricorn. So this isn't a bad transit at all, okay? It just looks like maybe you're being asked to be less, I want to say strict, maybe you're not even strict, but with some kind of house rules that you may possibly have, or something that somebody would like to do in your house, or maybe even invite someone there that really you don't care for too much, but you'll go along with it. So it looks like you're softening up in some way or other, or someone is trying to butter you up when it comes to your family, you know, or being nice to someone that could possibly be in like a family setting of some kind, in a home setting, maybe not even yours. On let's see here, on Sunday, May 29th, Mars in Aries conjuncts Jupiter in Aries in your 4th house where you have Aries, okay? And this is the big aspect that is the one I was talking about that brings good fortune, okay? This isn't like dumb luck, though. This is luck that has been planned. This is a move that has been planned, and Capricorns are the business people of the zodiac, you know. So I would have to say you've always had a plan in some way or other. It's occurring in your fourth house of your home, in your home life. So maybe you have planned to move. You know, Jupiter here does sometimes mean a new home, moving to a new home, or doing something to your current one, you know, expanding it, building on an addition or something or other. So whatever occurs at this time, maybe you were looking at some place that you wanted to live, and maybe you received news that, you know, your bid, if you're buying a house or an apartment that you wanted, something like that, that you got it. Okay, this is good news. This is fortunate, good news. This could also be, fourth house is also your personal life. You know, it could be something about you personally. It doesn't even have to be known to everybody else, you know, that happens in your personal life that, you know, really, it's a pretty big deal. At least it is for you. This is also your house or your family, you know, your immediate family even. If you have children, they could do something at this time that really affects you in some way that makes you proud. You know, they do something of, I want to say character, you know, that shows their true character, and and you're immensely proud of them for being the person that they are. You raised them correctly, okay? All kinds of possibilities here, though. You know what I mean? This is your background, your foundation, your childhood. This could even be a time where you find, like, I want to say hidden treasure on your property. If you own a home and you have property surrounding it, it's covered by your fourth house, okay? If I were you, you know, around this time, I'd get out there with a metal detector or something. I don't know. You never know about previous owners. If you're living in a house that you haven't built yourself, you know, you should find out a little bit more about previous owners or the land or something or other, as long as Jupiter is here, not just like with this aspect. And I always tell everybody that if you're unable to do anything on this day, first of all, it's in effect for a few days, on the day of, a few days before and a few days after, okay? Just start something under this aspect, because what that does is it kind of gives it the kiss of luck from this aspect. Whatever you start at this time, even if it's having like a conversation even with a family member or someone close to you, that whatever plans you have, whatever you are going to do in the future or something or other. Okay, but try to use this aspect if you can. Okay, you don't actually have to physically be doing anything, as long as you use it to begin something under this aspect. Okay, so for Aries, okay, wow, everything's happening for you right now. Okay, well, first of all, the Sun in Gemini in your third house sextiles Jupiter in your first house in Aries. Okay, so your third house is your everyday life. It's your neighborhood, your neighbors, your siblings, your cousins. It's anywhere you would go throughout the normal course of your day, and the people you would encounter there, possibly, okay? This is regular, you know, postal mail, email, any form of communication, okay? Text message, all of that. It's also travel, but it's usually local travel or within like a few hours away. It's a weekend, overnight, something kind of trip, okay? And it looks to me like you're possibly going to take one. You know, you're maybe planning here in America. You know, it's a Memorial Day weekend coming up, so maybe you are making plans to go away for the weekend, or some kind of special plans, maybe something going on in your neighborhood that's on account of it being a holiday. Could be anything, even if it's just to go see fireworks or something or other. Okay, on Tuesday, May 24th, Mercury in Taurus, okay, it's retrograde. It's fallen back into Taurus. On Monday it actually happened. Okay, so you have Mercury in Taurus in your second house, sextiles Mars in Pisces in your 12th house. And a little after this aspect occurs, Mars moves into Aries on the very same day. So there's just this brief aspect between your second house, okay, where you have Mercury retrograde, to Mars in your 12th house. Okay, so with Mercury being retrograding back into your second house, it looks to me like you're going to be paid for work that you've already done, or money that was supposed to come to you will finally show up, or you'll at least find out where it is. You could be like some kind of review. I'll get to that in a minute. That's another aspect. But money and possessions, things coming to you, okay, because of this is something that has already occurred, okay? When Mercury was direct in your second house in Taurus, like last month or whatever, you know, you, I don't know, even made an inquiry about money. Where's the money, right? Or something. Or you could have even made an investment of some kind. Or purchased something, okay, that will grow in value possibly over the years, okay? Could be like a collectible or something or other. Could be whatever, okay? So now that Mercury is here again, maybe you're finding out a little bit more about that purchase or money or something or other, okay? But don't be surprised if, you know, it's something like, I check my bank for a direct deposit possibly, or if you have PayPal or something like that, just check. On the same day, okay, Venus in Aries in your first house, sextile Saturn in your 11th house of Aquarius. So, you know, your 11th house is your friends and your, like, acquaintances even, but it's like where you would normally go to hang out in a group or gang or whatever you want to call it, crowd that you hang out in, and any kind of organization that you belong to, and also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. And having Saturn here, you know, sometimes means that there is, could be a person that's putting a real damper on your life in some way or other, especially among your group of friends. They are trying in a way to prevent you from making new friends or breaking into a social circle that they don't want you in. They are envious and jealous of you. And I think I should have mentioned this, you know, having Mars in your 12th house kind of brings out the worst in this person. I believe there's at least one person, and it's usually a so-called friend, or it's someone within our group or crowd. Okay, so they're more or less like an acquaintance, but you're aware of how they feel about you, okay? So it looks like you know, just having Venus in your first house most of this month, and other planets, especially with Jupiter here, like whatever this person was trying to do has failed, you know. I mean, this Saturn has been here for a while, so this person has been like a real pain in the ass, standing in your way or trying to block your way. Could even be like when it comes to work, you know, and a promotion or anything, you know. They're jealous of you. That's why they've done this. So it looks like they're not going to have a lot of luck in that area anymore, just for the fact that you have Jupiter in your first house now. It protects you against people like this, okay? So anyways, on Wednesday, May 25th, Mercury in Taurus in your second house trines Pluto transiting in your 10th house of Capricorn, and both of these planets are in retrograde motion. Okay, so your 10th house is your career and your public life, how you're known to the public, professionally and personally. you know, your second house again is earned income, and with both of these planets in retrograde motion, I'd have to say that money again from a past job that you've held, or could even be current job, but just work that you've done in the past, you're finally getting money for, but you may also be getting credit and a lot of well-deserved recognition. You could be even offered a previous position that you either held at one time or showed an interest in. Okay. On Friday, May 27th, Venus in Aries in your first house squares Pluto transiting in your 10th house of Capricorn. And this isn't bad at all, okay? It just shows that, you know, Venus in your first house, you can kind of like really do no wrong. So whatever it is that you're doing or saying right now is really enhancing your popularity when it comes to, I'd have to say, your personal life, not necessarily your professional life, but whatever it is that you do for a living or professionally, people are really impressed by, okay? On Sunday, May 29th, Mars in Aries conjuncts Jupiter in Aries in your first house. So this is like a pretty big deal for everybody, but it's an especially big deal for you because it's happening in your sign, in your first house, okay? So this is the transit of good luck, fortunate action, but this isn't really dumb luck. It is being in the right place at the right time, but mainly because you planned it that way. You have been working on something, anything, or wanting to make some kind of move that really required excellent timing, and that's what this is. This is time to make your move, okay? No matter what it is, it's happening in your first house of personality, so it has to be something pretty important to you. You know, it's many things. There's like so many possibilities, it's ridiculous, but when you have Jupiter in your first house, it does give you the opportunity to expand your life in some way or other. Usually it's to given the opportunity to try something you've always wanted to do. So this could be one of those times where you do that, especially Mars being your ruling planet and it being the very, you know, very bold and brave planet that it is. You know, it looks like you're going to, I don't know, dive head first into something or other. You know, I don't think it's risky. It could be something completely different than what you would normally do. Or you could make a, some kind of actual, like, physical move, or approaching someone that you've wanted to get to know, or befriend, or, you know, something or other. But this is your time to make a bold move. Let's put it that way, okay? I don't think anyone, you know, Aries don't have, they're not really shy people, but it may be to you like a leap of faith, okay? So I would have to say this is the time to actually have something like that in, you know, in your life. If you're ever going to do it, you're going to do it now, right?